I missed your question before, mate. You were asking about the IPP. That's another thing, what the rat Atwood got up to. So I just swerved it, stopped it, dead. You know what? Let me tell you this. I love my brother Danny dearly, more than anyone else in my family. I love Danny more. And it hurts me that he's in jail doing his IPP. And it hurts me that he's friends with the people that tried to shoot me dead. That's what hurts me the most. He believes the family that was very relevant in the attack on me on the 18th of March 2007, 2018. He speaks to them. He relates to someone called Davy Lowe. Davy Lowe is the dad of Ryan Lowe, and he's the dad of Danielle Lowe. He's also the uncle of the Lamb. Now, for years and years and years, Davy Lowe has lived in Spain and Amsterdam. And for years and years and years and years, since I was 12 and Ryan Lowe was living off me, and Ryan Lowe still does. For years, though. And Danny's took their side. So it is what it is. I didn't want to sacrifice him out of my life, but he's been sacrificed. His mind's not changed while he's in custody. He's still affiliating with the same people who he was affiliating with before he went into custody. I can see when he gets out of custody, if, and that's a capital I and a capital F, he probably won't get out of custody because of the people he's associating with outside. People who are sending him money, people who are phoning, stuff like this. I know what you're saying, but I can't be trying to protect Danny if he's still living in his old ways. I can't be trying to drag Danny down this path of mine if he's already on that path of his. And the path of his is destruction and prison. I don't want to start jeopardizing myself like I have done on numerous occasions for my brothers. I've jeopardized my freedom for my brothers. You know, I've gone to bad places for my brothers. I've took the responsibility for my brothers when I shouldn't have on loads of occasions. There is no way I'm taking responsibility for any of his actions that come in the next few years. None. Not many around no more. Sam, Ryan Baker, brother. Martin Smith. Toothache is a doddle compared to my kidney stones. Trust me, mate. I've had them. And when you're pissing Ollie's that burn, kid. And they can't really do about them. You've got to piss them out. Stephen Daniels, Daz, I work around Salford with a few ex-head cases from Salford. They speak highly of you, saying you're a stand-up member. I am a stand-up member. I always have been. Doesn't matter what life I was in. I've always been real in that life. I've always gone as best I can in that life. When I was a criminal, when I was a burglar at the age of 14, trying to feed myself. Commercial burglar, by the way. I then went on to prison, became a YO, spent most of my young years in a prison, then got out and realised I can't keep on going back to prison. I'll have to participate in everyone else is participating in. And when I started participating in that, it weren't long before the city was shook to the core of me and my brothers. You can all chat about us now because we're 20 years later, you know. But you see, back in the day, 2000, 2001, 2003, 2004, 2005, and so on, the city was shook. Everyone was asking for favours off us. including all the top heads that care of the kids. And this isn't bigging me up, or this isn't me trying to be notorious. This isn't me promoting that life neither. I'm condemning that life, and he encourages all not to participate in it because you're wasting your time, you're hurting your family, and you're taking your freedom away from yourself. The minute you participate in any behaviour to do with criminality and organised crime groups, you're putting your whole life at risk, including the most priceless thing in your life, and that's your freedom. Money cannot buy freedom in this country. Trust me. And I've got respect for loads of Salford kids like. As I say, mate, when I'm in the prison system, I'm having it with a few scousers, old school, who are like 10 or 20 years older than me. When I'm in a jail like Oakwood and I'm in the I'm doing a circuit in the class, and I'm doing a circuit in the sports hall in Oakwood, and I've got half the firm from Hale Wood up and down to my orders. I've got half the firm from Highton sprinting up and down the gym doing frog jumps and flippies. Every time I tell them do, your Josh Averses, your little Desi, all these individuals that think they're part of that big organised crime group, then they take orders well, and that's why they're part of them groups. Darren G, Darren G, Darren G, Darren G. Song was my favourite. It's right, Scarface. Darren G, Darren G, Darren G, Darren G. Speaking words of wisdom, Darren G. Yes, Darren G, you good at AJ. Got the old lives back. Come on, brother. That's right, Cali G. Hope you well, Panic Darren, how in the wonder fuck did you just switch mentally and sort your life out? Must be hard, life. You know what, lad? It's not hard for me in the sense of everything I want to do with my life, I'm quite capable of doing. What makes it difficult is the past and the people from my past. That's what makes it difficult, lad. I mean, difficult in the sense of just getting on with my life and, you know, having me future wife around me and my family like that. I've sacrificed the relationship with a so-called best mate. He started digging. I won't have no part of it. He won't listen to me. End of, full stop. Trojan, what do you mean digging? Mark Chapman, A Day in the Life and Across the Universe, my favourite Beatles songs. Good on you, Mark, brother. Well, the only time I heard of digging is when you've got a heroin addict digging heroin into his veins. So the fact that he wants you to be digging with him and it's your best mate makes me think that you might have an addiction, bro. Ever in Durham, Nick? Sure was, man. Vegas. Nearly, what was the worst thing you've seen in prison? Boiling oil thrown over someone's face. Well, head. Martin Smith couldn't think of anything worse than being top of the heap in a gang. Would always have to sleep with one eye open, not worried about other gangs, but the ones below and you and yours. Well, I slept with a piece mate, so I didn't have that problem. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Dubo, never mind, lad. You'll see me in 10 years. TWOY, do you think you might have had a jail-free life if you never ripped the head off it, Darren? That's a bit of a funny question, isn't it? Because look, let's read it again. Do you think you might have had a jail-free life if you never ripped the head off it, Darren? Well, let's look. What is jail to you, mate? Jail, for me, as a child, was a care home. I was placed in that care home because I never had parents that were willing to guide us and look after us right. So I never ripped the head off anything, did I, mate? Did I? I was put into the system, and as you're speaking to me earlier on, I ended up on that revolving door. The first time I was placed in front of a court, I was placed in prison because of my behaviour in care as a child. So with just turning 15, I got 15 months detained, which back in the day was very, very harsh for the first offence. You're not in jail anymore, man. Move on. Lateral flow, I've moved on. But obviously it's been a big part of my life, the system. You know, all them custodial settings from the age of 13 to the age of 36. It's very hard to leave them behind. You know, it's what's made this character in front of you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Big up Salford, always. Societal conformity. Societal conformity. Conformity. I don't know what that means. Scarface, that's the one, lad, always. Salford and Liverpool cut from the same cloth, just sounds different. Stephen, you're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong, lad. Damn right. Big Valds, Daz, you coming about saving the youth, but when was the last time you see your son? Well, my son is one, and the last time I seen him was over a year ago. A year ago, mate. And why aren't I seeing him? Because you've got a mum that hangs around with a gang of coke snorting rats whose boyfriends are dealers. And this mum never put my name on the birth certificate. So instead of being trapped by some woman who I don't love, who I weren't in a relationship with, I done all I could for her, stood on, done what I could, and she would not put the name on the birth certificate. And she still hasn't. And you know what? He's my son. There's no denial there. But me, as a father that wants to have an input in his son's life, if the map would like my name on the birth certificate. Do you understand what I'm saying? Until she does that, unfortunately for my strong, beautiful son, he's not going to get access to this energy. He's not going to get near me. He's not going to get near his little sister. He's not going to get near anything to do with me. It might sound cold, mate. It might sound blah, blah. But there's certain things that fathers have got to do. I don't want to be one of them fathers where the child is being kept from him and leaving the father in trauma. The amount of men I see turning to drugs, turning to drink, having addictions, all this because they can't accept that the mum has got their child. Me, watched loads of men in custody coming in with their heads absolutely battered by some woman that was using a child as a weapon, using a child to manipulate, using a child to prove points. This woman was doing that with my child. I refuse to participate in that. I will not let a woman trap me and think she's got full control over me because she's got a child to me. A woman will not make me like her, sleep with her, or love her just because she's got my child. That woman was kicked out of my life. She can't handle it. To get me back, she's refusing me access to my son, and she's refusing to put my name on the birth certificate. And you know what? I'm the type of man who's strong but very cold when he's got to be. I know my son is in safe hands, I think. I know my son's getting looked after, I think. I know my son's not involved in an environment where people up off drugs sitting there gouching at the end of the couch like his nana does on a daily basis. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So the question you did bring in, lad, was quite horrible, wasn't it? You tried to provoke me, didn't you? You tried to make me look like I'm not seeing my son. My son is being prevented from having access with me by a scorned mother who's on drugs. I'm not participating with it. I've got a woman in my life that I'm embracing. Within that woman, I've got a beautiful little child that will come out and will have my name on the birth certificate. So I can take full responsibility for my child. And if anything, God bless it, doesn't, was to happen to my child's mother, that child's not getting ragged into the social care system. I'm getting the option of raising my child before it gets dragged into prison. That cunt, or that mother down there who we don't give out. It won't be long before social services are knocking at our door. Not me, because of an ex-fella who's smoking crack and thinks he can turn up at the house and scream and demand whenever he feels like it. The same man is already got social services all over him over other kids to another woman. Now, what do? When the possibility of the mother who was born a crack child, the possibility of this mother going down the same lane as her mother, who's her own mate, who's the only woman that's round her, but she sits at the end of the couch gouching like there's no tomorrow in front of the kids. Now, if this mother, who's refusing to put me on the birth certificate, goes down that path, what she's going down, that's why I've left it. The one she tried to drag me down. The path she's going down is going to bring danger into the custody of my child. I've screamed at her hundreds of times. I need my name on the birth certificate. If I don't get it on there and social services come, or you have some sort of accident which absolutely ruins you, which God bless, I hope doesn't happen. But if it does, where does my beautiful son go? She knew what I'd been through in my life with social services. She knows the trauma I've picked up through care. She knows quite well I would never let my son go into the hands of social services. She's took the right of me as a father away from having any say if that house and social services come. I haven't got a say at all. I can't turn up and go, I'm the father of that child, I want custody. Because he haven't got no documentation to I'm the kid's dad. Psychological harm, all the manipulation of this woman, saying I can have the baby on a Saturday, but doesn't bring him to me. Anyway, it is what it is. I've left it behind. I haven't left him behind here, and he's in here all in time. Last time I seen him, he was smiling his little head off. Okay, and that's the images I've got in my mind right now.